Feds are the ones saying, cool your jets and knock it off. So the reality is, what you guys done? Trespassing. You know what I mean? Wow. There's absolutely no reason on earth for this to escalate.
No. Well, my opinion, I don't think the feds have any right being here. I just posted a thing on Facebook today because I thought Dave Ward was a buddy of mine until he proves different. And I told him that if he picked this thing up till the feds go home, that the community would back him 100%.
Well, all in all, when it comes down to it, he's the constitutional law in this county. He needs to be constitutional. He needs to step up, and he needs to remove all jurisdiction or any kind of unlawful threat. But from what we're getting in town, he's the one trying to escalate the situation.
So yeah. So
we haven't made any threats or anything or done anything illegal.
And I don't believe anything I hear from anyone until I know it for myself. I didn't come down here because I think any of the rumors I've heard, period, are true until I know it for myself. I came down here because this doesn't need to escalate. No reasonable human being in this country, in this world, should want anyone to get hurt ever.
Yes,
period.
sir. Yes, sir.
And as a Christian and as a reasonable human being, having talked to you guys, knowing the good people in town, our good law enforcement.
Yes, sir.
I don't think anyone wants this to escalate, and there's no reason it needs to. So,
would you want to give your name, sir? Or if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine. I mean,
yeah, I'm just someone that
yes, sir.
is here because I heard there was a threat, and I came down to say there's no reason to escalate this.
Yes, sir.
This is a talking situation.
Yes.
And no reasonable person in this country should want this to move beyond talking.
Sir, I want you to, I'm sure Sheriff David Ward's watching this. We're live streaming right now. What message would you want to give him, especially after the fact that I went to his office today to shake hands with him, look him in the eyes and say, come out here and sit down, break bread with these guys, and say, you know what, I'm the sheriff in this county. I'm going to make sure that these guys, sure, they're held accountable for, an infraction or whatever it is, but I'm going to guarantee that we're going to respect these men's rights, and we're going to guarantee that they're taken care of with respect. What do you have to say to Sheriff Ward?
I'd say just pray about it and, do the right thing, and I have faith that it will happen.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you. How about yourself? You said you're friends with Sheriff David Ward?
Yep. I've been meaning to talk to you for a couple days now. I would encourage you to come down and talk to these guys. After hearing a lot of threats in town, I was concerned. Came down here concerned when the schools got closed, whether or not my family was in danger, whether my kids were in danger, whether the citizens, the federal workers in town were in danger. Coming down here, I don't think that's the case at all. I know that you'd be welcome down here with an extended hand. I don't know if that's what you'd want, but I think that negotiations, or at least coming down and talking to these guys, would be a great deal, especially to cool things off. And I mean, I'm not going to say I support these guys and what they're doing or how they went about it at all by any means. What they're trespassing.
Yes, sir.
They went about this, they kind of caught the whole community by surprise.
Yes, sir.
But what they're staying up for, I can't argue with.
And most importantly, their safety and their well-being.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want these guys don't deserve to be massacred over an ego trip. So that's pretty much my biggest concern and why I came.
Sir, do you believe that that Sheriff Ward? I just called for, and I have been. I went out to meet him in person. I wanted to give him a fair shot. But do you believe that Sheriff Ward? I've called for his resignation. But you know what? There's other layers. I said this myself, personally. But let me set that aside. You don't need to say that. Do you believe?
Why wouldn't?
Do you believe that there should be county officials, there should be state officials, state law enforcement, the governor that could intervene well before he should defer to the federal government to resolve this issue?
No, absolutely. I don't think the feds have the right to be here.
We're missing a few steps, aren't we?
We are missing a few steps. But at the same time, I personally believe that Dave is in this position at this time for a reason.
Yes, sir.
I think that I told you the last time I came out here that Dave was my friend. I wasn't going to backtalk him.
Yes,
I
sir.
thought that he stepped in when he was needed. He's done a great job. I've supported him up to this point, and I still support him. And I think that if I was in his shoes, I would be extremely I don't know if I could do a better job. I couldn't make better decisions than what he's making right now.
Okay, sir.
He's in a tough spot, and you have to think long and hard before you sit there and go butting heads against the people that you trust. I mean, I don't know if his deputies would follow him right now if he decided to say, you know what, I need to go down there and talk to these guys, find some common ground, and see if they could turn themselves in peacefully.
Right.
But that would be a step forward that he hasn't made that step forward yet, and that would be my encouragement. And I should have called him up down there. Sorry, Dave, if you're watching this, I should have called you. I know that there's been so much hype over the social media and stuff that I didn't know how you would take it. I didn't think that you would take it very well.
But the best day is for him to come out here and talk to these beautiful people that are on the other side.
I would love to come out here with him myself.
Okay.
And let him know that, you know, I know that his family and other deputies' families have claimed to be threatened. And just, you know, I'm not calling you guys liars. I know that I'm not doubting the fact that you guys have been threatened. I honestly don't think it's from the people down here, but that's just could just be my ignorance.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't know that. You guys have more intel than what I've got. I'm just a dumb citizen who's trying to get informed.
Thank you so much for having the courage to come down here and find out for yourself. Now, have you been down here before?
Yeah, I've been down here a couple times.
You have. So you may see a different posturing here because they're very, very concerned. They've been alerted that that there's supposed to be a raid here, essentially.
I just got a couple of phone calls saying that there was going to be tonight.
Okay.
And I couldn't go to bed tonight knowing that possibly these guys could all wake up dead. And I went, if that happens and I didn't step in and do anything about it, I wouldn't be able to live with myself if that happened. Apparently, it looks like hopefully it's a false alarm.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not gonna second guess my judgment on coming down here and doing that.
Yes, sir.
I would do it again in a heartbeat if it meant coming down here and saving lives to guys that, like again, went about it wrong. They didn't go about it the way that I would have suggested, but they are getting results. They have gotten things done things that have been discussed and talked about that have not in the last, since any of this began. These ranchers are getting picked off one by one by just tiny little things that escalate into big things. And we've got neighbors, ranchers down in the Waihe that are getting kicked off their ranches because they're turning it into a monument. Those guys have nothing left. People in Harney County here in a few years, the sage-grouse comes back in for an endangered species again. I don't think that fight's over. It's not happening right now, but these ranchers could be in the same boat that those guys are down there in Hawaii. And that would break my heart. I think that they need to, come and at least get their voice heard and show their concerns on their rights to run cows on their public lands. And that is truly a real concern, and it should be of every one of ours, that our rights are being jeopardized.
Yes, sir. I agree.
And so I don't know if I want to put a whole lot more on there.
You did a great job. Thank you very much.
Going to get shot.
God bless you, sir.
You betcha.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for your courage.
Sorry about that.
No, you did a phenomenal job. You really, really did.
Thank you, guys.
You betcha.
There's no reason